in and on top of it, an in-state rival game. But for the most part, a really well-played softball game. And then really happy for our in-state kids, our Nebraska kids. Amy, of course, going 2 for 3 with a big home run. And then Becca pitched a whale of a game, too. So, just proud of our team, proud of their effort. Happy for our 2 seniors to go out with a win against Nebraska. And hopefully this gives us momentum. We got a big weekend ahead of us at Illinois State.
Is it more gratifying, or I don't even know if it's more gratifying what, the win's a win, but especially against these guys, have they had your number for so long?
Well, they've had our number, and what's hard is, we were so young, and, we just have our 2 seniors on our team right now, and so many of our young players haven't experienced a win against Nebraska. So sometimes it takes a win like this to turn the corner, and hopefully this is a turning point for our team and moves us on to bigger things the rest of the season.
When Baker came up, were you thinking, hey, maybe she could get one on her?
Amy's been coming in, getting extra work, and, for a kid that's hitting 360, she wasn't feeling good about what she was doing, and that just gives you an idea of her work ethic. And she came in and put the extra work in, and it paid off tonight with a big hit.
Any difference in you guys' approach at the plate this time around against Creighton?
Big difference. Our first game, we were very tentative. We've had some success this year because we've been patient, and one thing we wanted to do is try to be a little bit more aggressive. Last game against them, we had 22 two-strike at-bats, which resulted in 14 strikeouts. So we wanted to stay out of 2-strike at-bats as much as we could. We reduced it down to 14, but we had a better approach, and I think it really set the tone early on with Ellen leading off the game with that double. So that really set the tone for our team the rest of the night.
How about you personally? I mean, milestones, you can look back and then count them up at the end of your career, but you hit 600, 750 as a coach. What does it say about you?
Everyone tells me I'm getting old. They said don't think too much about it. It just means you're getting a little bit older. But what it says is I've been really blessed. I've been fortunate to work with a lot of great people. First, great student athletes and great coaches, and all my coaches right now are alums. So I'm very, very fortunate that they want to stay around and they're not tired of me after 4 years. And then I've been blessed to be able to stay at Creighton this long. So I've just been very, very fortunate, and I'm really excited about our game tonight. I'm really excited about our team and the future of our program. And what a great night for college softball.
I'm just curious, have the kids changed over the years? Have they been in for 2 decades, 3 decades now?
You know what, they have, but I think at the core they're the same. I think with electronics and some of the attention span, and everybody wants things instantaneous, some of that, but at the core root, we still have great kids who love to compete. They take their academics very seriously, and obviously you can see they take their athletics seriously too. So, I think that's the type of student athlete that Creighton attracts, and we're very fortunate of that. But I don't think they've changed too much, other than the times have changed a little.
And you mentioned about this propelling you and giving you maybe setting the table for the future. You guys play this way, the sky's the limit, isn't that right?
There's no question the sky's the limit. We talk about peaking at the end of the year. We talk about peaking at conference tournament time. We're tied for second place with Southern Illinois. We're half a game ahead of Illinois State. Big series this weekend. Yet, Northern Iowa still has to play Illinois State and Southern, so there's going to be a lot of moving in the standings over the next 6 games, and I like the way we're playing right now. We need to continue that. I told them, you play this way, you can win the next 6 conference games. You continue to play this way, and they will.
You mentioned you and I was out for that game that you had the trouble closing. Is that a young team, and then did they learn something, maybe take a lesson there to finish here?
I think they definitely learned from that. That was a heartbreaker. I don't know that I handled it very well. I was probably too tough on them after the game, and as a coach, you wonder if you lost them. We were very timid our next outing over at Drake. Luckily, we had a 5-0 lead because Drake put up 2, I think, in the 7th inning. But I like the way we've responded to that, and you always want to challenge them, and you want the best, and you want them to learn from those situations, and so far it looks like they have.
Thanks, Doug. Congratulations.
Tight situation. Just a little bit about her.
She's a gamer and a kid from Lincoln, Southwest, and there's no one on this team who wanted that more than Becca. I think there was probably some question amongst some people whether Becca would throw, and as far as I was concerned, it was a no-brainer unless she told me she didn't want the ball, and that was never going to happen. She worked herself out of some jams. She's a smart, she's such a competitor. I was probably surprised that she didn't get Haggett's slap up the middle. I thought she probably, looked like she almost got a glove on. I think she went for it and decided to pull back at the last minute. That was probably the only play, was if Becca would cut that off and run it over. But it just says so much about Becca because, as of late, she's been pitching almost like her, the way she was last year, but even better. And early in the year, she was probably doubting herself a little bit and, wondering how things were going for her. But, right now, I think she's better than she's ever been. And what a great win for her, as a Lincoln native and as a Nebraska native.